Hi guys, how are you? How is everyone today? It is match day 14, so another deadline, another really important deadline to navigate actually. So, yeah, let me just get a message on socials that I am now live. Thanks for checking that FPL hippie. Just want to says sound and videos all okay? Is it? I'm assuming, or is that just chat? I'm not actually sure. Yeah, so just give us a sec to just social this, get it into some group chats and stuff. Where am I going now? What am I doing? That's it. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. So yeah, welcome to the Matchday 14 stream. It was another busy one last week, actually. Another really solid. It does seem like, although we are coming towards the end of the campaign now, it does seem that people just keep joining still, which is obviously really good. It's been nice talking to most of the guys that I talk to day in day out, but on stream, and obviously some new guys as well, new people. So yeah, today obviously this is a 2-hour stream as usual, starting at 4:45. It's 4:45, isn't it? Starting at 4:45. We're going till 7:45. It's not 3 hours. No, it's quarter to 5, 6. Have I gone an hour early? Have I gone an hour early, guys? This could end up being a 3-hour live stream if I've gone early. I might have messed up here. I'm pretty sure I was it 4:45, 4:45? I think I was supposed to start at 5:45. Oh my god, I am absolutely losing it. Losing it. I mean, at least there's people in. There's not that many, but there are people in. So I guess I'm an hour early. I think I'm an hour early. I think I've genuinely gone. Yeah, so both games are at 8. So my live streams finish at 7:45. So it would be 4:45 that I start this stream. And I've started it at 4:45. What am I playing at? What am I doing at this point? What is going on? I know, 3 hours. 3 hours now. I've got to do a live. I have to do a 3-hour live stream. I have to. I can't not do 3 hours now. It's too late. So I'm gonna have to do 3 hours. I should probably mention that right on socials because everyone's probably thinking, what the hell is going on? I'm gonna have to social this. The fact that I've gone an hour early stupidly. I can't believe this. Sing some stands for an hour as a warm up. Yeah, that might be a good idea. To be fair though, I could probably go an extra hour if I wanted to. Not if I wanted to. I mean, it is manageable for me because like it always feels too. I looked at my phone and got a notification you were live, and I was more than surprised. Utterly stupid from me. Utterly stupid. I mean, again, there's a lot less people here, and and I thought I was looking at it, I was like, what is going on? Why? Like, there was me saying that interest has not died down, and interest died down. So yeah, I've gone super early. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? I don't think people. I think there's going to be people. I think there's going to be quite a few people that aren't happy as well, though, because I think that there's people that like to join from the start, and I imagine people are still at work. I don't know how I've managed to do that though. Let me just check what time the stream was set for. I might have set it. I don't even know if my tech can handle a 3-hour live stream, by the way. Like, I just don't know. So that is correct. That is correct, FPL hippie. Totally true. Yeah, totally true. So I mean, I'm gonna have to talk about some stuff, aren't I? Like, I'm an hour early, but I'm still gonna have to talk about some stuff. So, if you want to ask a random question, that's totally fine, non-football related, since I am an hour early again, stupidly. I think a lot of my subs are not going to be very happy with this. Not going to be very happy at all. But yeah, would you recommend VVD to Saliba as my second transfer? I guess we can just do some. We could just do some questions, I suppose, couldn't we? I don't really want to go through like my team 3 hours early, because it would seem a little bit insane to start looking at stuff early. I still can't believe we are where we are at the moment. I mean, it's nice of people to join FPL Hippie, Tom, Joseph as well. It's nice of you to pop in the stream. Joseph, did you? It's good that you're around, to be fair. So the first question of the night. So first question of the night. I think it was the first question. Yeah, you can ask me anything about anything if you want. Marmite, yes or no? I've never actually tried Marmite, to be fair. Hello, BMVC 1984. Hello. Apologies again if you've noticed I've gone early here. It was a mistake. Like, I didn't plan to go early. And so apologies or no worries in advance. It's either good or bad for some people. Yeah, I don't mind VVD to Saliba, to be honest, because I think obviously Liverpool are at home, which is great. You know, it's good that they are at home, but I still think they'll concede. I do, however, think that Liverpool are going to be much better. There's a lot of hearts coming in. Is that like someone just continuously pressing the heart button? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Heart to you guys too. Yeah, so I should probably start by, well, saying that, we haven't officially started yet. We officially start at we have started, but I think a lot of people will probably come in at 5:45, the actual time that I was supposed to start this bloody live stream. I can't actually believe it. I know why it is though. I think it's because I was set up super early this week. Like, I did some stuff a little bit earlier, bit earlier than usual. So I think that's why I've gone early. But no, I don't like Marmite. Or any chance for Liverpool tonight? Yeah, I think there's always a chance for Liverpool at Anfield, isn't there? I mean, we've seen some epic comebacks from Liverpool, haven't we? Milan, Barcelona over the years. Yeah. So I mean, it's not completely out of the question, Liverpool coming back, to be fair. Could do Gerard Martin to White. Well, I'm not convinced that White is going to start this week. There's a lot of rumours suggesting that it might be Mosquera at right back. Yeah, so sorry, I don't know what's. Yeah, so I think that White could be risky. I think Mosquera could play. Mosquera and White's 50-50, I think, as to who starts. Good evening, Gareth. How have you never tried Marmite? Have you got any in the cupboard? If so, live tasting content incoming. I don't even think I've got Marmite in the cupboard. Like my missus, my partner, does not touch anything like that. Not even jam. She doesn't like jam. She doesn't like any spreadables. To be fair, and I've not physically gone out my way to buy Marmite as well. So, I mean, I could live taste it. I imagine it would go down badly. Hi, Ricky. Again, super early on the stream here today. I was supposed to go at 4:45, but I've ended up going at 4:45. So, yeah, it was a huge announcement. Suggest that Iraola was well, not suggesting, saying he was actually leaving Bournemouth, which is quite a surprise. Yeah, pop in later, Joseph. Uh, pop in later. I'll be I'll probably collapse by then because I'll still be going in 3 hours by the looks of it. Yeah, I think Iraola's a really good manager, isn't he? I think it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I think there's rumours that he'll go to Bilbao, but there's also he's also a good manager. So obviously, Carrick might not last at Manchester United. Manchester United could go for him. Um, there's a couple of Chelsea maybe get rid of the current manager and go for him. I think Hincapi will start tomorrow. I think Hincapi is going to start. I think Hincapi is going to start at left back tomorrow. Calafiori's not around, is he? Skelly, I can't see playing. So I think Hincapi is safer than Van White, to be honest. Van White does have some risk. Again, there's a lot of Arsenal fans saying that they want Mosquera to start ahead of Ben White. I don't think a lot of them don't like Ben White basically. Each to their own, I suppose. But then we can't really listen to we can't really listen to the fans in how we obviously we have to take their opinion into account, of course, but when it comes to making a decision in our fantasy teams, I don't think backing Mosquera to start or White to start is a good idea, to be fair. But I do think Hincapi will start tomorrow. Howe will return to Bournemouth. Yeah, there's been a few rumours about Howe, hasn't there? I think that I really like Howe as a manager. I think peak Howe is one of the best managers in Europe. I did mention that in a chat. I was laughed at, but I genuinely think that Howe is an excellent manager. You know, peak when he's at peak performance. Obviously, a lot's happened at Newcastle. You know, transfers that have gone wrong and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see him on another project, see how well he does there, because he's done pretty well most of where he's gone, hasn't he? So yeah, I really like Howe. I'd have Howe at Chelsea, to be honest. I was having a conversation with the pod guys, the pod lads, Dan and Ed about Eddie Howe, and I would take Howe at Chelsea, but I think he's been linked to start there now, isn't he? I think he's been stay there. Sorry, I think he's been linked to stay there onto the next season. I don't know if there's like that solid news and stuff. How's the light on this? I don't really orangey, and I think I've done something to the camera there. I hope he starts with Havertz and Gokrash. Yeah, I've also seen predicted lineups showing that Havertz might not start this, and that it will start as instead. So even Havertz has some risk this week. I think Gokrash will start. I think he will definitely start, but I'm not so convinced about Havertz, to be honest. Not massively convinced there. again, we've gone super early, so just literally get any random questions. Ask me absolutely anything, and I will try to answer it as honestly as possible. We're not going to get too deep into the content too yet, as to avoid repeating a lot of stuff. Because again, I've got 2 hours and 45 minutes of this now. I don't even know if my laptop can hold out for that long. There's a good chance it actually just dies. I mean, it's constantly on charge, but who knows at this point? Yeah. So I just want to say again, and also a thank you to those who helped me get to 1K subs last week. So really do appreciate that. So if you are in the stream now, super early. If you are in the stream, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. I think we also have super chats as well now. Apparently, yeah, super chats is a thing. Apparently, super stickers, super chats. So when it is super busy, obviously it's fine at the moment because I can answer all the questions because again I've got plenty of time. But when it's super busy, if you use the super chat feature, it would of course take priority. I'm probably not selling the super chat very well, but yeah, you can send super chats now and stuff like that. I'm not going to keep going on about it, but yeah, I think it's more. I appreciate more the fact that obviously, a lot of you guys joined me for the milestone last week. So yeah, thanks a lot. Hitting 1K, massive. Again, I think I didn't. If you were in the stream last week, I played a song, and I'm not too sure. They didn't actually send me. They didn't actually copyright it. A lot of people were laughing in the chat saying it's definitely going to get copyrighted, but I don't think it did. What is your predictions, Lewis, for the semi-final? Yeah, okay. So I think that Barcelona have got a good chance of coming back and winning the tie. I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say Barcelona make it. They could have done with Rafinha though. They might be a little bit short, but I think they could make it. Realistically, everyone's going to say that Atleti are going to go through, but I think Barcelona have a chance. So I'm going to pick them. I'm going to also say that PSG get through, but I do think Liverpool will play well and score goals today. I will say that. So yeah, I do think that PSG I think will go through. I think that Bayern will go through as well. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid got back into the tie. You can never rule out Real Madrid. Can never rule them out. So yeah, you can never rule Madrid out, even when they're 2-3-0 down. You can't rule, and they're only 1-0 down. Remember, so and Arsenal. Thoughts on Hincapi? Yeah, I don't mind Hincapi if you need money. You need money because I think the Saliba to Hincapi swap creates 1 million budget. I could be wrong. Is it exactly 1 mil? I think Saliba's 5.9 and Hincapi's 4.9. I guess, but around 1 million. I think it's not a bad shout, but if you don't need the money, he's probably a transfer out next week because I'm not too sure he's. When I say next week, I mean the next round, which is quite a way away. It's not like next week in 7 days. It's quite a bit away, so you have to think about the next round as well. As we've got the time, what would be your Christmas? Christmas. I'm already thinking about. What would be your Champions League team of the season so far? Best players rather than best fantasy assets. That's a really tough one actually. It would have to be players that are currently playing in the Champions League currently still. Although I think there are a couple of players who have been knocked out probably make it. It's quite difficult to be fair. I think from a goalkeeping perspective, I think Neuer's been fantastic. So I would probably put Neuer in goal. I think he's been like that. The game last week, I know it might be called recency bias, but he has made some potentially big saves there. Because I don't think any of the current goalkeepers, Mohamedashvili, Alisson, Musso's been good for Atleti. I think Garcia has been excellent for Barcelona as well. Ray has been good, but I would probably give the goalkeeper for Neuer. Trying to think who else I would go for. Left back. I'm going to go for Mendes at left back. PSG. This is current as well. Current. I would probably go for Saliba and Gabriel at centre back. So it would be a double defence in Gabriel and Saliba. As part of the back four. I would also go for Hakimi as well. Hakimi's been excellent. That is the goalkeeper and back line. Central midfield. Central midfield is so tough because there are a lot of good central midfielders. I think João Neves, Vitinha for PSG have really, really been excellent. No one really stands up for Barcelona, not so much Atleti either, or Sporting. Rice could be a shout as well. I think Kimmich's also been good. So maybe there's a partnership duo that I would definitely have. I would definitely have Julian Alvarez in that though. Would definitely have Julian Alvarez there. Julian Alvarez has to be there. Kane, Mbappe. So it would be a front three. So it'd be 4-4-3. I would say Mbappe, Kane, and Julian Alvarez. I think that's fair. I think that's a solid front three there. Midfield is quite tough though. Wingers, sorry. Elise has to be at right wing. I think Elise has to be at right wing. Left wing, I would say. I want to say Rafinha, but he's obviously missed the last two. So I think that would. Okay, all right. I'm going quiet, am I? Yeah. Cheers for that. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. So what I did was I took. So basically, if you couldn't hear that, my team of the tournament so far would probably be Neuer, in goal. Mendes left back, Hakimi right back, Saliba Gabriel centre back, central midfield probably of João Neves, Vitinha, maybe Rice, maybe not Rice, maybe just I'm going for a 4-2, 4-4-2 wingers, 4-4-2. So I'd probably go for João Neves and Vitinha, Elise. Maybe Rafinha. It's difficult though because there's only eight. There's only 8 teams there, isn't there? It's weird the sound on this mic at the moment because I did take gain off recently, so the buzzing sound's gone. But how is my sound now? So yeah, just drop me feedback on the sound currently. It's coming up okay. So just when I look down, is it any suggestions for my team? Raya, Garcia, Pacho, Gabriel, Saliba, Hakimi, Van Dijk, Firmin, Vinny, Kvara, Yamal, Vitinha, Mbappe. It's a very good team. It's a very good team, to be honest. Hi, Jack. Yeah, if you didn't realise, I've gone super early here, Jack. So it's a 3-hour marathon tonight, by the looks of it. Any suggestions for my team? Yeah, went through that, didn't we? I think looking at it, I would be tempted to get in Kane, via Kane and Alvarez if you can fit him in somehow. You could potentially sell Vinny for someone cheaper and try and get in Kane and Julian Alvarez up front. Yeah, there are some tricky decisions to make tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna really struggle, I think, to find funds for Alvarez. Really am gonna struggle tonight. So yeah, just a reminder to those in that we've got more people in now. So just want to say again, thank you for last week. Thank you for helping me push up to 1k subs. Really appreciate it. We are going to go through the usual stuff. We'll go through like the usual content and stuff. I think it would only be fair to go through my usual type of content pushing towards 5:45. So this is just more of a not a general chat. I will obviously still answer questions. It's good for those that come in now because I can easily answer questions. So yeah, just ask anything and we'll get through all of them. I'm pretty sure we will, especially with all the time we've got. UVD, Upamecano, Vinny, Elise, Dembele to Kane if you want. -4 is possible. Yeah, oh, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure about a -4 at this point because obviously we get 5 transfers next week, don't we? Yeah, so remember, you can ask me anything, guys. I don't mind. It can be football related, non-football related. Someone's already asked me if I like Marmite and also my Champions League team in the season. So pretty much ask me anything you want at this point. Which teams do you think will advance? Is this for me or for Skander? But if it's for me, I do think that PSG, PSG, Arsenal, Bayern, and I'm going to go for Barcelona as an outside pick. Yeah, I did see the Firmin. I did see the lineup for that this morning. The only issue is, where did the lineup come from, Jack? Because I'm pretty sure. So there's there's a Barcelona source that's like really bad. Is it? But did you see that predicted lineup? Did you see the predicted lineup for from Barca Universal? So was it that? Was it that, Jack? From there? Because they are really terrible with stuff like that. Like they've made some really, not just predictions. They've said people are like injured and stuff, and they're just not. So definitely, I don't know why I'm following them actually. Again, it's Barca. It's that one. It's Barcelona Universal. They are yeah. It's terrible. Obviously, it's fine for probably okay for injuries and stuff, but when it comes to predicted lineups, I mean, they might be right. Yeah, fingers crossed. They might be right. But they have been wrong quite often. Yeah, Suarez, Vinny, Tar out for Alvarez, Gnabry, and Ruggeri. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think it looks good. Decent move. Alvarez is obviously an excellent option this week. Well, we'll take a look at the odds soon, actually. I think a lot of you guys, obviously, we take a look at the goals and assist odds, and we also take a look at the clean sheet odds as well. And you'll be surprised where some of the big players are. Not related to fantasy Portugal football. Yeah, so my football team is Chelsea. Scander. I'm a Chelsea fan, unfortunately, at the moment. Yeah, that's why there's it's that way. That's why there's a Chelsea top there. Obviously I've got other tops and stuff, but you won't catch me with like a Spurs or an Arsenal top behind me. That's for sure. So yeah, took out Alvarez for Dembele last week. Should I change it back? Yeah, I think so. I think that's an easy move, to be fair. Yeah, I wish I had Dembele to make the straight swap to Alvarez because it's tough this week. I mean, you guys can see my team there on screen. I don't know what I'm going to do. I honestly don't. No idea at all. This is why I probably needed 3 hours, to be honest, to figure out what I'm doing, because again, I don't want to cover too much fairly early, but I've had a tinker and I've struggled. That's what I will say. I will say I've definitely struggled. Please hit like if you are in the stream. Not many people do hit the like button. Not many people do subscribe whilst they are in the chat. I think we are going to move over to subscribers only mode for chat. so you'll still be able to watch it if you're not subscribed, obviously. But it will be subs only mode for maybe the last 40 minutes of the deadline stream. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed now, which means you won't kind of get kicked out basically of the chat. You won't get kicked out of the stream. You'll still stay in the stream, but you just won't be able to comment until you've subscribed. So yeah, please do it now. Please hit the subscribe button now. Please hit like button now. And yeah, and it should stay. Everything should stay the same. Although I still haven't figured out how to switch from switch to subscribers only mode. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still figuring a lot of this stuff out, guys. Yeah. Are you a Chelsea? Are you a PSG fan? Oh no, you're right, Aspirant. Yeah, the Tunis. Yeah. Have you still got? Oh, what's that player that I really like? Can you name some of your like wingers, Skander? I need someone to flip a switch in my head. You've got a player. Is it Belaley? Is it Belaley that you have? Is it Belaley? I need to check. Belaley. Let me just have a look. Yes, it is. It's yeah, the Algerian one. Yeah, that's the one. That is the one. Belaley. Yeah, I've always really liked Belaley. Actually, I think he's a very good player. Yes. What subs are you thinking for this week? I have schools. So what's transfers? Well, I think this is the problem. I think yeah, but it is Belaley. Yeah, I've always really liked Belaley. It's the one I'm thinking of, isn't it? I know Belaley's Algerian. Sorry, one sec. One second, guys. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, the Algerian one. That's the one. Yeah. So in terms of my transfers, you have the school run soon. What country are you in then, Riley, at the moment? You're in the UK. Yeah, I really love Belaley. I think he's so fun to watch. I thought he was good. I thought he had his moments in the Club World Cup as well. Yeah. So in terms of transfers, yeah, okay. So I need to try and figure a way to get Julian Alvarez in because we did a whole stream last week. A lot of you guys were here. You probably saw me thinking and tinkering and on how to get Julian Alvarez in, and I think I got slightly. You're in the US. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. What part of the US then? Is it hot there? It's like always cold here. I'm in Wales though. I do like it cold though, to be fair. I tell you what though, I'm pretty sure it was like 10 degrees today and it felt too hot. Yeah, so Alvarez is someone that I need to try and figure out how to get in. The problem is though, and you will probably know this by looking at my team, is how I would get him in. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, just sell this player, sell Yamal, sell Vinny, sell Mbappe, but all of them are really good options. Oh. We're going to do Suarez to Alvarez, Vinny to Vitinha, and maybe Catamo out. Yeah, I think that they're all things that I'll consider 100%. I think on my team selection video, we did look at a couple. I did look at a couple of potential moves, and Vitinha was definitely in there. Well, Alvarez was definitely in there. Vitinha was in one of the two plans. Suarez was in all of the plans because I just don't think he's a good option this week. And I keep chinning the mic there. I'm trying to stay as close to it as possible. I probably need to put game back on at some point. So yeah, guys, get your questions in while you can. It probably will start to pick up soon and get busy. Again, super chats are now active. Apparently, they're active when you hit 1K subs, so you can use super chats. It means I'll be able to prioritize your questions and stuff like that. But at the moment, I'm still able to answer pretty much everything because we've got so much time. Would I keep Rice? I think the Arsenal. I think that Arsenal at home is a good fixture for Rice. I think we're going to see a lot of pressure from Arsenal, aren't we? We're going to see a lot of possession. We're going to see a lot of dominance, I think, and Rice could do well. I don't think I would sell Rice this week if I had him. But I don't know who. It depends who you're swapping him for. If there's like a midfielder with like clear potential that you like, then maybe it's an option. Luis Diaz, Vinny, and VVD to Alvarez, Saliba, and Kabara. Yeah, I mean that's a solid transfer plan, to be honest. You might change your mind though when you see the attacking return odds. You're going to be really interested to see them. Right, so let me just have a look on. Let's take a look at Declan Rice news. He's in the predicted lineups though, right? He's in the predicted lineups that I've seen. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, he did miss training today, didn't he? Yeah, he did miss training, and then Arteta has said that they will wait and see how Declan Rice is tomorrow. That is not good news, really. I think I would be more inclined to sell him because midfielder spots are they feel so precious at the moment, don't they? I mean, you look at my midfield at the moment. I honestly don't want to take anyone out, but then I might have to actually fund an Alvarez move. I really don't want to take any of them out. Obviously, we get the lineups as well, which is nice. I think we get good lineups today. I will say that we do get really good lineups, don't we? It is obviously the PSG lineups that we're going to get, not the PSG lineups. Sorry, I was supposed to say Barcelona lineups and the Atleti lineups, which are going to be so valuable. We do, of course, also get PSG Liverpool, but I just wanted to touch upon Atleti and Barcelona first because, yeah, I mean, Fermin Lopez not starting last week was a bit of a nightmare, wasn't it? I'm not going to lie. Like, I didn't expect that at all. He's massive. He's massively key. But, you know, if he didn't start last week, then there's some risk there. But again, we get the lineup. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm not really going to think about Fermin Lopez just yet. I like to do that towards the final hour of the stream. Just confirm plans and have a look at different routes and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Fermin Lopez, we want to know if he starts. We're going to want to know which striker starts potentially out of Lewandowski, because Ferran Torres might start. I think I've seen Ferran Torres name dropped quite a lot as well. So just let me know if there's any electrical buzzing or echoing in this mic. That would be massively appreciated. And then we obviously get the Liverpool lineups. I think we all know what the PSG lineup is going to be. It will be interesting to know who is going to start for Liverpool in terms of, like, will Salah start? He's probably going to start, isn't he? Like, if I had to pick two lineups that we'd see today early before the deadline, it probably would have been Atleti and Barcelona, and then Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Although having the Arsenal lineups would have been quite handy this week, wouldn't they? Because we would know who was starting at left back and right back, which I think a lot of people want to know at the moment, don't they? So yeah, so I would sell Rice. Thoughts on selling Dembele, buying Luis Diaz, Gokarash. It feels a little bit sideways, that move. Although I do see where you're coming from because they are at home, Bayern and Arsenal. Due Kvasi, you've already got double PSG attack, so yeah, I would probably sell Dembele. I would probably go for. I mean, if you haven't got Julian Alvarez, then he probably it's a good idea to get him. Thoughts? Yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't pick Rice. I think the news that that he didn't train and that just going back to the other question. I think I prefer Luis Diaz to. I think I prefer Luis Diaz to Gokarash. And you'll see why soon. It's saying that Gokarash is on pans. They are both really good options, but I think if you haven't got Alvarez, then I would go from Dembele to Alvarez. You already have Kane and Alvarez. There's no way you can get to Mbappe. I feel like Mbappe is probably one of the best options this week. If you can't get to Mbappe, then that's fair enough. I would probably go for Luis Diaz. I don't expect the Arsenal game to be easy for. I don't expect the game to be easy for Arsenal at all, really. Whereas Real Madrid, Sporting can defend. We've seen that they can defend, and they've made it this far because they're a good team. A proper good team. Similar to Arsenal, they have obviously quality, but they are a good team. They don't necessarily rely on loads of different players. I suppose a lot of the teams that are in the competition have good teams, don't they? It's stupid to say they haven't, I suppose, but I think obviously Bayern quite heavily rely on Kane and Elise, don't they? Real Madrid, they quite heavily rely on Vinny and Mbappe, whereas Sporting don't really rely on any specific players. They just have a good team, don't they? Would you pick an Atleti mid or Vitinha or Rice? Yeah, so no to Rice. Vitinha, I don't mind. I also don't mind an Atleti mid. It would probably be out of Simeone and Vitinha, I think. Simeone is one yellow card off a suspension though. Not enough funds for Mbappe, and he's likely to be eliminated. I think it's fine to waste a transfer on Mbappe. I think he could, he could go off. Like he could do really well. We have to remember that Bayern are very good defensively. In fact, Bayern could have scored a few. Mbappe could have scored a couple of goals. Yeah, I suppose if you've got Vinny already, there's no major need for the double up. Yeah, I agree. I think the front three of Alvarez, Kane, and Mbappe is what you want. I think Calafiore. I don't think he will start. No, I don't think he's. I think he's still out. Is he still injured? Pretty sure he's still injured. Let me just check if he's. Let me just check if Calafiore. I'm sure Calafiore's. Yeah, I'm sure Calafiore's out injured. I don't even think he's available. I know he missed training actually. Yeah, he missed training. Yeah, I think he's a bit of a bit of a concern this week. To be honest, I don't think he's. I don't think you can trust Calafiore to start. I also don't really trust any of the fullbacks, the Arsenal fullbacks. Like I don't think that. I think Hincapi's most likely to start out of all of the others. The Skellies and and the whites and stuff like that. Mosquera is being tipped to start in right back ahead of Ben White, but I think that's 50-50 by the sounds of it. Yeah, I don't think Real Madrid will make a remontada against Bayern, even if they win Bayern. Yeah, maybe, but it's one of them, isn't it? You like Bayern or Timber. I don't think Timber trained. I think he's still injured. So I wouldn't pick him. Definitely, I would sell him if I had him. Yeah, I think that counting out Real Madrid is not an option for me. Like mentally, I can't do it anymore. I used to do it. I used to discount Real Madrid week in, week out, because they've never really been consistent, have they? Both domestically and in the Champions League, they're quite on and off. They blow hot and cold, but you know they could be 2-3-0 down, but still come back. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Bayern are. I would probably put Bayern as one of the favourites, but again, it's Real Madrid, isn't it? You know, they've overturned bigger deficits, haven't they? So yeah, again, hit that like button. There's a few more people in now. I think we're coming close towards the time that I would usually start. I genuinely can't believe this has turned out to be a 3-hour live stream. Like it's honestly ridiculous, but I don't feel like I've done 45 minutes though. I don't feel like we've been here 45 minutes, so it's going okay so far. I'm not feeling fatigue, live stream fatigue or anything. Hi Thomas, how are you, mate? I never really see you on here actually that much. It's usually Jack, so nice to see you in. Rox, nice to see you in as well, mate. A regular. Would you buy Kane or Alvarez? I own Gnabry and Lise. Yeah, I would probably go for Alvarez, to be honest, Thomas. I think the triple up, I think the double up of Gnabry and Elise, who both should start, is probably enough. I mean, you could even captain Elise as a differential. Like, yes, Kane is always going to score one, like at least. But Elise was like brilliant last week. Elise has like huge haul potential, doesn't he? Hit like, guys. Hit subscribe if you are in the stream. I'm not chasing a milestone. I'm not stressing about it. But if you are not a subscriber, yeah, please hit subscribe. Please like. You'll also notice that super chats are available now. So when we do get really busy, not necessarily for now, it's just a way of supporting the channel using super chats. That option is there in the chats. It's also worth mentioning. I'm repeating all this stuff because again, I went far too early. It is worth mentioning we're going to be moving to subscribers chat only mode towards the end of the stream today. That doesn't mean that you can't watch it. You can still watch it. It just means you have to be a subscriber to comment, basically, and ask questions and stuff like that. Good to be back. Time flies streaming, right? It does fly, Jonathan. Yeah, welcome to the stream as well. To be honest, we've how long have I gone now? Yeah, I started at 1:45. It's now coming at 2:50 minutes. It doesn't feel like I've been on for that long at all, to be honest. So hard that Real Madrid scored 2 or more goals and score more than they do without conceding a single. So I believe Real Madrid chances. Yeah, statistically, the chances are low. They are lower anyway. But again, I think they've been 2-0 down, they've been 3-0 down, they've been 3-1 down, and they've turned things around and won like 4-3 and 5-4 on aggregate. So I'm not saying Real Madrid are going to go free, by the way. I would definitely own Real Madrid attackers though, like 100%. You take Yamal / Finney for Elise this week. I wouldn't sell Yamal for Elise. I think Yamal's got the home fixture. He's got pans as well. Something that Vinny and Elise don't have. The combination of both pans and home fixture. Vinny doesn't have any, does he? He's away and he's not got pans. Elise has got the home fixture. Elise is also on pans when Kane isn't on the pitch as well. So maybe that's a factor there. Best captain today and tomorrow, Yamal Okavara, Kane or Vinny. We'll go through captaincy shortly. What do you think about what do you think about moves? Yeah, I really like that move. Oh, actually, no, I don't. It's the selling Mbappe really scares me. What is Mbappe's ownership at this point? Let me just double check what Mbappe's ownership is. I'm sure it's like 63%. Yeah, it's 63%. So, I mean, and that's going to be, some people are going to captain him as well, aren't they? Some people are going to captain him as well. I don't mind. So what I don't mind is I don't mind having attackers from teams who are losing if the team they're playing have a dodgy defense or the team they play for is really good defensively, and I think Real Madrid are that. Bayern are dodgy defensively and Real Madrid are a good attacking team. Now ideally, yeah, you do want to be selling players who you don't think are going to go through, but with the 5 transfers I have next week, the priority will be with them to remove Real Madrid or Bayern attackers. Like they take priority for me. If the goalkeeper gets kicked out, Garcia, I will probably finish the tournament with 1 goalkeeper unless I really need to. Yeah, I'm quite happy to have 2 Real Madrid attackers going into this week. Now I'm not saying that I'm not going to sell any of them. I haven't ruled that out. I'm not completely comfortable with that though. When I think about selling one of them, it's not a comfortable feeling that I get. Just looking at my team now. Where is my team? You guys can see my team, but I haven't got the right screen on. Yeah, so it's that one. Just looking at my team now, we're not going to go massively into a load of stuff, a load of force just yet, because again, slightly early. But just looking at the team, you know, I have played with the idea of selling a popular asset to bring in Julian Alvarez. I just think that again, we'll look at the odds soon. We'll look at the clean sheet percentages. We'll look at the attack and return percentages also. Yeah, Barcelona forwards. I like the forwards today. I think Barcelona are going to score a couple of goals potentially. I mean, they might not, but I do think that Lewandowski and Rashford are fairly decent options this week. I think they're both fairly decent options this week. I don't know how convincing they are in comparison to maybe other attackers in that team, though. I think this is the issue, isn't it? Lewandowski. It's been sad watching Lewandowski have the kind of fall that, you know, the fall from his because prime Lewandowski, not even prime Lewandowski, last season's Lewandowski or the seasons before that, he was amazing. So yeah, it's quite sad to see his decline, to be honest. Lewandowski. Ferran Torres might start as well, so you never know, right? You never know. Is Rice out? Yeah, he is. I think Arteta did say that he was going to make a decision on him tomorrow. Just remember the Arsenal game's tomorrow. I have Raya, Garcia, Timber's not fit, I don't think. So I would forget about Timber. I don't think you need to sell Raya. I don't think you need to sell. I don't see much. I don't see much potential in that move. Would you sell Trincao for Olmo? Yeah, I would definitely do that. I think I would. I think I would be really interested in that move if I did have Trincao. If you've got the money to do that, I think Trincao is not far off, is he? In terms of price, I think you could probably get to one of those. It's going to be whoever starts, isn't it? Because one of Olmo or Firmin are going to start. But then how many minutes do they get? That's the problem. So it's not just minutes with Firmin Lopez, is it? It's not just the start that we have to worry about. It's also will he play past half time? Will he play past 60 minutes? It's annoying that Firmin Lopez is kind of a bit of a risk. If to get both Kane and Kvara in, my third transfer would have to be VVD to Gerard Martin. Do you think both are essential? Which one would you prioritise? Also, is Gnabry fit? Yes, Gnabry is fit. I think Kane and Kvara are probably essential. Yeah. Hey, Leffy, how are you? Yep, hi, Francis. Hi, Karim. Thank you for all your questions. Hi, Savino. Hi, Philippe. Welcome to the stream. We are coming up to the time that I should have been recording now. Should have been streaming. We're coming up to 5:45, which is when I should have streamed. Instead, I've started at 4:45. So yeah, for those that are worried they missed much in that last hour, it was basically me talking about Marmite. You also missed me talk about my Champions League best 11 non UCL Fantasy, and a bit of other stuff, some questions as well. Yeah, so questions here. Should I sell Vinny for Michael? I'm guessing that's Michael Elise. Use the money for Luis Diaz to Alvarez. Yeah, I think that's a good move. I think Vinny and Diaz, they could do well, but then Alvarez, he's on pans. Elise is probably one of the best wingers in the world, isn't he? So I think when you look at it like that, I can see why you would think that is a tough move. It is quite a difficult decision, that really, because again, Vinny and Diaz are not bad assets this week. They're pretty decent assets, but the ones you're bringing in are probably better. So yeah, I would say I would go for that. I think. Who would you go with, Vinny or Martinelli? I'm not. I don't know about the Arsenal attackers. I'm always on the fence about the Arsenal attackers because Martinelli's probably been one of their most consistent players, but I think he just doesn't fit my profile of player. Like I tend to go for either cheap good midfielders or midfielders on pans or Vinny. Or Kvara, the Vinny Kvara, the best, like one of the standout options of their sides. And you could argue that Martinelli is a standout option for Arsenal. You could definitely do that, but I don't know if he's going to get good minutes here. I don't know how long he's going to play. I also think Sporting will be difficult to break down. So yeah, I'm less convinced on Martinelli. He's also probably a transfer out next time. He might not even start. Trossard could ahead of him. Roxpanol, Argentina. What time is it in Argentina at the moment? I'm always interested to know what time it is in other countries. You are the UCL Fantasy King. Yeah, that's a statement there, right there, isn't it? Yeah, I really appreciate that. There are some other good UCL Fantasy content creators, but I don't know if I'm the UCL Fantasy King there. I don't know about that. I appreciate it though. Would you take out Rice for Gnabry? I think I would go for that. Yeah, I think I'd be interested in that because Gnabry is just more likely to score an assist, isn't he? He has a better. I think that Real Madrid is an easier fixture than Sporting from a defensive perspective because, like I said before, Sporting are a very good unit Very good team, good defensively as well. They have shown that, as to be fair. And also Gnabry again, he's in the number 10. He looked very good, Gnabry, last time out as well, didn't he? He was like all over it. Could have got a massive haul. I know he did well. Me and Mbappe both on team. Take the budget away. Mo at a loss with Calafiori being out. Yeah. I mean, you could get an Atleti defender. It's not. I don't think an Atleti defender is essential this week by any means. But the thing is with the Atleti defenders, they're cheap, aren't they? I think that's their appeal. Like, you kind of know which ones are going to start. Like, you've got Lenormand. I think he's 4.3 mil. You've also got Ruggeri. He's also 4.3 mil. Ruggeri slightly more attacking. Normand probably more likely to get ball recoveries from. So Costa Rica, it's 10:45 in the morning. Nice. It's nice to see you on time. If you didn't realise, I went an hour early on the stream. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought I was starting the stream at 4:45, but soon realised that I was a bit early. So yeah, hi Sam. Costa Rica 11:15. Not a bad time that. So how you're quite far behind us then. Quarter to 6 now. What's that? 8 hours or 7? One of them. It's one of them. Maths is usually good, but Salvini and save money. Yeah, the issue with selling Vinny is that he's good and could do well against Bayern. Real Madrid had 4 big chances against Bayern, by the way. They had more big chances than Real Madrid had more big chances than Bayern. So 7 hours, that's it. Yeah, 7 hours. I thought it was 7 hours. I'm 0.1 short from bringing in Alvarez, Vitinha and Ruggeri. Oh, that is an absolute nightmare. That is an absolute nightmare. I think I can do that, though. I think I can do that. Let me see if I did that on my video, right? That was the move that I was doing on the video. It is 1:47. Get your questions in, guys, while you can. I'm expecting it to get quite busy soon. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the like button. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick analytics check, shall we? Couple more subscribers there. 26 likes, guys. We can do better than that. Let's try and aim for 100 likes. If you are in the stream and you haven't liked yet, hit that like button. Let's try and get 100 likes. I don't know. I think we tend to hit around 60 to 80 60 to 80 likes. So it'd be nice to try and hit. It would be nice to hit 100. But yeah, the more importantly though, make sure you are subscribed, because I think again, just for those that have just joined the stream, because again, I should have started at 1:45. For those who have just joined the stream, we will be switching the chat. So we'll be switching chat over to subscribers only mode, which means that only subscribers will be able to chat. You can still obviously watch it. You can still obviously watch the stream. That's not a problem. But yeah, subscribers only. I'm guessing you guys know what that means. Subscribers only chat. It's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? So yeah, just make sure you've liked the stream. Let's try and get to 100. Make sure you have subscribed also, and that way, if you are subscribed, when we move the chat over to subscribers only, you don't get booted out. Basically, we won't get booted out at all. So yeah, hit the like button, hit subscribe button. Still don't actually know. One sec. I still don't actually have a clue on the moves that I'm doing. We will obviously look at that soon, but again, right now we would just be starting this stream, right? We'd usually be just getting the pleasantries out the way, saying hi and stuff like that. We can do the hi again if you want. How is everyone in the stream? I imagine that a lot of people have just joined. Let me know how you're doing the stream. Let me know what country you are in. It's always nice to see. Obviously, we've had I think we've had a Costa Rica, we've had an Argentina, we've had a US. So we've had quite a lot of different country nationalities in the chat, which is always nice. It's so weird because I'm so used to hosting the stream for an hour and then looking for the lineups. But like I've just realised I'm an hour early to look at the lineups. So not only was I an hour early to look at to stream, I'm an hour early looking at the lineups. From Malaysia. What time is it in Malaysia at the moment? Sorry, 1 second, guys. Let me just. Just trying to figure out how to do something at the moment. "12:52 a.m. in Malaysia." That is pretty hardcore. 07357 in Malaysia at 10:01 in the morning. So I mean, what time do you usually stay up till? I'm guessing it's the deadline, so I'm assuming that you stay up till like 3 in the morning. Do you stay up all night? Pretty crazy, that, isn't it? To be fair, I'm waiting to see Firmin start. Yeah, we need to see if Firmin starts. That is because let's be honest, it's quite difficult to you. We either don't need transfers or we need loads to move a lot of our players around. 3 is quite an awkward number, isn't it? Trinidad and Tobago, love that. And what time is it there? I don't know why I'm obsessed with what time it is in different countries. I don't know what the obsession is, but I just love seeing that. So guys, I'm just trying to figure out something at the moment. So yeah, just bear with me a sec. Just get your questions in while you can. Remember to hit like and subscribe. I'm just trying to figure something out at the moment. Probably should have figured it out a little bit earlier, shouldn't I? But chat's back. That's good. Hi, Kieran. I'm in the I'm in the New Forest with family. Any chance I can DM? Yeah, just drop me a DM, Kieran. I totally up for that. Definitely up for that. Yeah, already had my sleep. Gonna watch the game too. Watching my team getting beat up by PSG. Oh, so you're a Liverpool fan. So not only, so you've slept, but you're staying up all night. I mean, that's pretty hardcore still, isn't it? That is pretty hardcore. Do you foresee any upsets in the second legs? Will the progression to the next round factor into your transfers today? Maybe. I think so. I think we're gonna take a look at some other stuff as well. We're gonna have a look at the clean sheet odds. We're gonna have a look at the attacking return odds also. We're going to have a look at who is suspended as well. Let's take a look at a different screen. So this is a list of who is 1 card away from a ban. One second. Yeah, so these are the players that are 1 away from a ban. 12.54. 5 to 1 is quite a good time. I suppose if you're working though, Karim, that's probably a bit problematic, isn't it? How are you watching the game then? Can you watch the matches? Vinny Jr. for Elise. I think for the straight swap, I would be tempted to do that only because of how, like, Elise is absolutely ridiculous. Probably one of the best wings in the world at the moment, isn't he? So I sell it. It does really. It is nervy though selling Vinicius Jr. because what is his ownership actually? I've not checked Vinny's ownership for the entirety of the campaign. 25% owned. 25%. So he's got similar ownership to Kvaratskhelia, which I think is quite high. So good to see you too, Jamie. Thank you for joining the stream again. Always nice to see you. Always nice to see you commenting. That is Alicia Alvarez. I think I'll do, but Pacho to Regari is something I'm considering. Having 4 PSG is a little risky. Yeah, I think so. I think that Liverpool are going to score this week, in my opinion. I think they're going to score, which makes the double up in the PSG defence, I'm not keen on it. It's not exactly appealing, to be fair. Hakimi is essential, though. I think you have to have Hakimi. But anyone outside of Hakimi, you could probably sell, couldn't you? Yeah, it could normally work. Could normally work. Oh, you can watch the game. If you can watch the matches at work, then that's great, isn't it? That is great. Elise is 40%. Yeah, Elise is a lot higher now, isn't he? Elise is he does feel essential though, doesn't he? Elise. To be fair, there are a couple of players that are essential at this point, and Elise is one of them. Like he was so good against Real Madrid, wasn't he? He was so good. Have Hakimi, Kvaratskhelia, Vitinha, and Pacho. Yeah, if I had to order them in terms of priority, I'd probably go Hakimi, Kvaratskhelia, joint top. It would be difficult to kind of split those two up. There's an argument that Hakimi's probably there's an argument that Hakimi's more essential because the defender picks are so bad. But I would put Hakimi, Kvaratskhelia joint top, and then I would probably say Vitinha second, and then Pacho third, because again I think Liverpool are going to score. Vitinha could nick something. I will be doing World Cup fantasy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Cup. Anyone that is a regular to my videos and streams and stuff like that, then yeah, they'll know I'm looking forward to and excited for World Cup fantasy. The World Cup in general is good to have, isn't it? You know, that little gap between the end of a season and the start of a new one, it can be a bit boring, can't it? So World Cup is always welcome, 100%. So yeah, I am definitely doing World Cup fantasy. Looking forward to that. Is Doué or a PSG attacker a must? They might be threatening on the counter. I think Kvaratskhelia is probably a must. I would say Kvaratskhelia is probably a must there. I don't think Doué is though. I don't think Doué's done enough to make me think that he's like Doué is really. He's one of those players that's he's quite awkward, isn't he? Like he's not consistent, but he's explosive. Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, so yeah, definitely subscribe. Do what Red Bull Vodka's doing. Subscribe, hit the like button. Are we anywhere near 100 likes yet? We're probably not. I've got faith though. I've got faith. 35 likes and we need another 65. I've got a feeling we might not do that, but if you can hit the like button, hit subscribe, that would be fantastic. So, Cavara or Alvarez captain? Well, that's difficult. Do you know what? Captaincy is going to be massive today. It's going to be so big, isn't it? Because there are three huge standouts tonight. Massive standouts tonight. I mean, it's obvious who they are, though, isn't it? Right? You've got Yamal, you've got Julian Alvarez, and you've also got Kvaratskhelia. I don't think any of those three will be massively differential. What is? Can someone tell me Alvarez's ownership? Does anyone in the chat know his ownership? Let me just see if I can figure it out. Yeah, sorry, I'm just having a little look on Twitter. There's usually some news, isn't there? There's usually like some. There's not much news ahead of Matchday 14 to dive into, really. Um, Sorry, guys, I've gone really quiet. I'm just having a look around to see if there's any more news. So, yeah, you don't want to put all your eggs into one team, spread out assets. I mean, that's fair enough, to be honest. I think we do have to be a little careful on who. There's a couple of ways you can obviously play this, right? You can play it super aggressively. You can play it super aggressively and just back up and just back, the teams who you think are going to go through, which can be seen as aggressive, I suppose, and a lot of people will probably want more of a balance, but 21% Alvarez. Fabrice Hawkins on Twitter is saying Salah is banned. Yeah, so Salah is benched. Um, so Salah is benched. Hmm. I don't. I think Liverpool were going to score this week. I do think they were going to score. I would have played Salah. I think I would have played Salah. I would have started him. Like, I know he's not been great. He was good last time out, though, wasn't he? Like, I don't know why he's not playing. It's a bit weird, isn't it? He's not starting. If that is the case, though, I mean, he might be starting. We don't know, do we? Um, I regret captaining Dembele instead of. I definitely regret not captaining Kvara last week. Yes, you are. Should we take a look at the? Should we take a look at the? Should we take a look at the odds? The goal scorer odds. Bear with me. So they are the odds for teams to score or assist for the for this round. Obviously, some surprising names on there, right? Some surprising kind of numbers because you can see that Bayern completely dominate the top five outside of obviously outside of obviously Yamal. It's not really a surprise that Yamal is up there either. Is it? But he was last week though as well, wasn't he? Yeah, Saka is out. So I think the news that this graphic was if the player starts, basically this graphic is assuming that that player starts. So yeah. Just a reminder, you can now we now have super chat, so you can use the super chats. Help support this channel, help support me, this channel. You can use super chats if you want to. I think you can use super stickers, super chats, super whatever. There's loads of super things in there. I think we could potentially move into subscribers only mode at some point. So we will see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, just get your questions in. We will keep answering them. I'll keep answering them as we get through them. Vinny and Firmin for Kvara and Elise. I think Kvara and Elise are probably essential this week, so I would do that. I don't mind Rashford as a differential. I probably wouldn't captain him though. That's the only problem. I don't know if he's reliable enough to give the captaincy. You'd be fighting a lot of heavy hitters with Rashford. It's stressful enough trying to pick between Kvara, Yamal, and Julian Alvarez. I'm assuming. So I do think he's a good differential, Rashford, but I don't know if he's a good differential captain. I just don't know if he's a good differential captain, Rashford. Um, So my first ever super chat is Alan Villa 94. Really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you for your support. Question is Kvara or Yamal for captain today? So, okay, this is where it gets pretty tough because I actually think that Liverpool are going to be better this week, being at home, but they are also going to be desperate. I think Atleti are probably going to try and shut up shop. I'm swaying towards Yamal because he's obviously got pans and he'll play 90 minutes. If PSG score early, if they score a couple early, would Kvaratskhelia then come off? Just to kind of save for the future round. So I think based on minutes and pans, I would probably say Yamal, though that could, I mean, it is a tough one. Captaincy is very, very difficult this week. But I would side with Yamal there. I always prefer captaining. Um, I always prefer captaining penalty takers, especially playing at home as well, because obviously Kvara's away from home. It's minutes is a concern though. Again, if Liverpool, if PSG start scoring, then yeah, we could see Kvaratskhelia come off early, which would be really annoying, wouldn't it? If PSG scored a couple of goals, Kvaratskhelia wasn't among them, and then he was subbed off. So because there's a lot riding on captaincy tonight, I think anyway. Because yes, we could switch to Kane, and we can probably switch to Elise and stuff like that tomorrow. But I feel like there's a couple of holes in tonight's matches because you've got to remember, no one really hauled last week. Like Kane didn't haul, Yamal didn't haul, Elise didn't haul. A lot of these players, these big heavyweight players, Dembele didn't haul, Mbappe didn't haul. So I think captaincy becomes really, really important now. We do have to be careful with who we pick. I fancy Rashford to have a few shots. He loves a shot, doesn't he? I think we could potentially see Barcelona have a few shots. I think we could see them have a few shots, quite a few shots, to be honest. Again, just another thank you for Alan Villa for that super chat there. My first ever super chat. I didn't know what they were a few days ago, believe it or not. Not properly anyway. So yeah, I appreciate that. Super chats do get priority as well. Super chat questions do get priority as well. I will go into a little bit more detail with super chat questions, and more importantly, I won't forget to answer them. Not what. I can't speak. I've already been speaking for too long. Usually, though, I would only be 25 minutes into a stream. So yeah, I shouldn't be getting fatigue already. No, I did mention though, I do feel pretty good. Because usually when I do these 2 hour streams, I always feel like I'm always a bit like, oh, I have to come off, I just like talking to you guys. Obviously, I talk to a lot of you on Twitter and group chats and stuff like that. But it's nice to have my own little community on YouTube. Well, I say little. It is growing. If you are in the stream again, hit like, hit subscribe. Massively appreciate it. Not sure what to make of this slide. Can't wrap my head around Arsenal attackers rated higher than PSG. Yeah, so I think with the bookies, there's always some question marks over, over if they make sense, But so firstly, this is if they start. It is worth mentioning that if they start, that is. So yeah, Kane right at the top there. I understand Bayern's odds. I do, because Real Madrid are not the defending team. PSG can defend against Liverpool. Sporting can defend against Arsenal, albeit Arsenal assets are quite high up. Saka's out, so just ignore that. Yeah, so Saka is completely out there. And I just need to work something out, guys. Just bear with me a sec. Yeah, sorry, I will zone in and out every now and again, just looking at news and trying to fix the odd thing. Yep, guys, just let me figure something out. Yeah, so just bear with me a sec, please. Quite annoying, I know, but I'm just trying to figure something out. I do want to get rid of Suarez. That is something that I need to do. 1 second. Where is that now? The questions quickly while I figure something out. Who will bring it? Yeah, so I'm not too sure on transfer plans yet. We will look at them shortly, though. Diaz or Alvarez or Gokaresh. I do think that the Alvarez is much more of a priority than Diaz. On pans, if Barcelona are chasing the game, then we're gonna see a lot of space in behind the Barca back line. I mean, there's a lot of space behind it anyway, isn't there? They don't even have to chase a game. There's just always there's always space. Um, 1 second. What just happened? Something might come up on the screen now. I don't actually know what is. I'm trying to fix something basically, and something just keeps like popping on the screen. I think someone just subscribed. If someone could just like randomly subscribe now, obviously I want everyone to subscribe, but if someone could just randomly subscribe, if you're not already, because something keeps there's like pop-ups on my screen at the moment. So I don't know what. Not popped up on the screen though. Will I consider FE Fantasy EFL YouTube content and or channel membership stuff? I haven't really considered EFL Fantasy. I usually it would usually be UCL or FPL or the kind of bigger tournaments. I do love Fantasy EFL 100%. Like it's I think it's underrated. It's massively underrated Fantasy EFL in terms of the platform, the scoring system. Everything about it really is massively is massively underrated. That's for sure. So yeah, I really do love Fantasy EFL. Rice is a doubt. Yeah. Predictions, score lines for tonight. I'm going to go for 3-1 Barcelona. I'm going to go for 2. I'm going to go for 3-2 Liverpool win over PSG. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Oh, for tonight's. Okay. I'm not going to keep going on. I would sell like a TK. I don't actually know if Firmin's starting this week. He's very frustrating, isn't he? He's very frustrating. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to set just so you guys know what the hell I've been doing for the past few minutes. I've been trying to set alerts basically you know, for when subscribers and super chats and all that other stuff comes in. Probably shouldn't have started doing it during a live stream. Probably stupid, really, but there we are. Let's take a look at the. So they are the odds. Are pretty interesting to say the least. The odds are always quite interesting though, but I was quite surprised to see Alvarez so low down the list. I was very surprised actually, because there's quite a lot of players ahead of him, isn't there? Half Our Fantasy Podcast. Hi mate, how are you? Hanko replacements, I would probably just go for Ruggeri and then upgrade somewhere else. I'm guessing 1.5. Hanko is. I mean, yeah, maybe Ruggeri, or unless you go for maybe a patcher of PSG. One sec, guys. 1 second again. Get your questions in, subscribe, like the channel as always. While I just quickly check this, don't worry about time. We've got plenty of time. I started an hour early. We'll be here until I'll be with you until 7:45 tonight. Um, 1 second. Panel. So I'm still trying to work all this stuff out as well. Yeah, so he's 4.5. So Hanko is 4.5, so it would give you 6 mil. I mean, I would get Hakimi if you haven't got Hakimi. What do you think of Suarez and Vinny? And Suarez, Vinny, DVD out for Alvarez, Ruggeri, and Vitinha. I like that move, to be honest. I think it's a good move. Just a quick one with these graphics and stuff like that. You can get so much content, so much of my content as well, my UCL Fantasy content over at Fantasy Football Scout. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys are aware of Fantasy Football Scout. It's one of it is the best fantasy football website for tools, for content, be articles, videos, and all that other sort of stuff. I think it is the most useful fantasy football site around. So head over there. I would definitely use that. I use it on a daily basis. Even when I'm not doing work stuff, I still use it. So I would definitely advise going over there. And you can find a lot more of this type of stuff over there, the clean sheet odds, which we'll look at shortly. You've also got predicted lineups. You've also got top picks, team reveals, and a lot more. So yeah, just head over there and have a look around. Get your questions in. I will answer all of the questions that you come in for. I'm going to start looking at my own team soon, as soon as I've figured out how to do this. I am going to give up with it shortly, though, because it is really a pain to do. Yeah, so we're going to move away from them now. We'll take a quick look at the clean sheet odds. I think a lot of them are as you would expect, to be honest. Yeah, so in terms of my team, I think it's safe to say we can go back to my team now, can't we? Yeah, you can see that Arsenal are top for clean sheets. Bayern are 25. Look how low Real Madrid are at 5%. I was shocked when I saw that. Like, look, I know Bayern are, they are Bayern and they look very very good, but 5% is absolutely shocking. But it also makes sense now because when you switch from this to that, you can now see why Bayern dominate, right? Because Real Madrid have a 5% chance of keeping a clean sheet. So their odds all align pretty much, don't they? The bookies. So it looks like Bayern are, Bayern and Barcelona actually, because if you look at it, Bayern and Barcelona pretty much cover the top two, four, seven, top seven, and Arsenal. So you've got no Liverpool attackers in there. You've got no PSG attackers. I'm quite surprised that Kvaratskhelia isn't even in that list. It's weird actually that he's not in that list. He probably should be. So I'm not too sure what's happened there, but he definitely should be. Maybe the bookies just don't think that PSG are going to score, but I think they are. I think they are going to score. But yeah, so just going back to my team. Let's have a look at my team now. Yeah, so this is what I am. This is what I'm looking at the moment. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna save something, guys. If you see anything weird pop up, then where's chat? Where has chat gone? We've lost chat. We've lost chat for some reason. Hey guys. Hey, for those who have just joined the chat. Ah, there's chat. Chat is back again. What a pain that was. So yeah, I feel like we can get into a little bit more now because the thing I was trying to do is annoyed me so much that I'm just gonna like leave it and try not to think about it too much. So, Joe, welcome, Joe. Nice to see you in the stream. It looks like the chat has reset itself, so there's no comment in there at the moment, which is which is really weird. So, so get your comments in, get all your questions in. Just a reminder, you can send in a super chat now. They are active, so if you want to get a priority question in and stuff like that, you can do that. It just means that I will prioritize. It means I will prioritize your comments, basically your questions, and go into a little bit more detail. Yeah, I think the late news, Zhao. Yeah, Fresneda is out tomorrow. Yeah, I did see that. So thank you for popping that in the stream. Thank you for that, Zhao. Zhao is our sporting team predictor over at Fantasy Football Scout. A very, very good one as well. So he's just given us the news that Fresneda is out tomorrow. So what are your thoughts on Fresneda being out, Zhao? Is does that affect the sporting defence a little bit more than it would? Because Fresneda is good, right? So yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions on that. Hi, as if. Hi, Lewis. Would you sell Firmin, Suarez, and Vinny? And would you sell Firmin, Suarez, and Vinny and keep Howson? Yeah, I don't mind it. I like if you want to prioritize attackers, then definitely do that. There's not many good defensive options, so I don't think you're gonna gain or lose too much by selling Hawkson. I don't think it's a priority sell. If you can fit him in, then sell him. Yeah, but I think you can. Yeah, you could easily just continue into the week, basically. But yeah, this is the team that I've got at the moment. Look, I really want to get Alvarez in. Okay, so I really, really need to get Alvarez in. I don't know how I would do it though. Obviously, we haven't got the. Obviously, we have not got. We have not yet got the lineups, have we? So I don't know if Firmin's going to be an issue. We should get lineups in about 15 minutes though. We're not too far off from getting lineups. So I think Firmin is definitely going to have to come into. I'm wondering if I can get Firmin lower. So I think I'm wondering if I can get Firmin low. So obviously Firmin is 6.8 million. If he's not playing, then what is the lowest I can go? Because that's 1.8 million that I could save if I went down to a 5 million. But I don't think there's many convincing options in the 5 million bracket. Sporting will have a difficult game. I would love if Sporting advance, but Arsenal, even though in the moment it's a bad team, not playing. Do you think you're worse defensively though, Zhao, without Fresneda, or do you think you'd be better, tighter at the back? What do you reckon? Biscoff's 5 mil. Goretzka's 4.9. He doesn't start though. A lot of you can't really get. I mean, Almada's there, but he just doesn't play. He doesn't play, does he, anymore for Atleti? He doesn't really play that much. Norgard's 4.7. So if you wanted to try and go really, really cheap with counter attacks for sure. Mm. Yeah, for some reason you guys can still see goals and assist odds. Can you just let me know if in the comments if you could see my team, because you shouldn't be able to see you shouldn't be able to see the projected goals and assists anymore. You should be able to see. Yeah, you should be able to see you should be able to see my team. So just let me know in the chat. Giving the ball to Arsenal, yes. Right. So I don't really want Suarez. I think that's obvious. I don't really want Suarez. Um, I'm just trying to think of the other standout strikers that there are this week, and I'm not trying to avoid Alvarez again. I promise. I'm just trying to think who I could potentially move Suarez to um if it wasn't Alvarez, that is. So in terms of strikes, I don't think that there's not loads and loads of standouts, is there? Obviously, that we've got Rashford. He could potentially be an option. We've got Lewandowski. Liverpool. I'm not going back to Akatike. Refuse to. Dembele is always an option, isn't he? Arsenal. You've got Gokarash. Bayern, you've got Luis Diaz, and is that pretty much are they my options basically? Griezmann will play. I think Griezmann is slightly cheaper than Alvarez. I don't know how much cheaper though. It'd be interesting to see how cheap Alvarez is. So let's take a look at some of these now. So I don't think any of these are super cheap though. That's the problem. You see the team, that's good. Do you like Rice for Eze this week? I'm not actually sure that Eze is going to start though. It could be Havertz, couldn't it? So it could be any of Havertz. It could be Havertz or Eze that starts. So I probably wouldn't sell Rice for Eze. Firmino just depends on if he starts or not. If Firmino starts, then I'll probably sell Howson. Yeah. If Firmino, I'm still slightly concerned about Firmino. That's the only thing. Like I am slightly concerned that Firmino, although even if he starts, he might come off a little bit early. Mbappe out, Alvarez in. There's no way I am selling Mbappe. He's basically 63% owned as well. I know it's not all about ownership, but I genuinely think that Mbappe's got good potential this week. So Rashford is only 7.3 million. But then he's gonna need to go probably in the next round because of Rafinha. Rafinha might be back. Lewandowski's 9.3 million, so I think that rules him out. How much is Dembele? Dembele is 9.6. A lot of these strikers are 9s. Like Gokaresh, how much is Gokaresh? He's 9 million. Luis Diaz. He's 7.6 million, which isn't bad. And Griezmann is 8.6. I think 8.6 is too expensive as well. So there's no point in me avoiding Alvarez and going for Lauer, Dembele, Gokaresh, or Griezmann because they're all still 8 to 9.5 mil. So Rashford is one of the cheapest at 7.3. Have I missed any strikers out, guys? I feel like I've missed a striker out that I could potentially consider this week. So you've got Rashford at 7.3. You've also got Diaz at 7.6. So they're the cheaper forwards that I would consider there. Hi Anas, how are you? Good to have you in. What moves are you making this week, Anas? Any? Are you going to remember the deadline? Yeah, only viable are Diaz and Rashford. I think so. I think if you can't get Alvarez, then but you also don't want to spend 9 to 10 million, then I think the obvious options are Rashford and Luis Diaz. And remember though as well, Diaz. Yeah, the only problem with Lewandowski is that he's 9.3 million anyway, so I may as well have just got Alvarez. This is why I'm trying to go slightly cheaper because if you look at that, Rashford and Diaz, are around 2 million cheaper than the likes of Dembele, Lewandowski, Gokaresh. Even Griezmann's a bit pricier, 8.6. So if again, just looking at these goals and assist odds, we can see that Diaz is right up there. Do I want to triple up on the Bayern defense? That's what bringing Diaz in would mean. It would mean not triple Bayern defense, triple Bayern attack. So if Real Madrid did pull off a comeback, then I would have 3 Bayern to get rid of. Rashford is awkward as well because he's only really probably got this week. I don't know how bad the Rafinha injury is though. That's the thing. Like I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna have a look and see. I'm gonna have a look and see how bad the Rafinha injury is. He could potentially miss. He could potentially miss the semi-finals as well. So we might actually, saying that, Barcelona have got to get through as well. Which, yeah, I can't really see anything solid on Rafinha's comeback day, although it does suggest that Rafinha could be out until after the second leg of the semi-final if they make it. That is. Any replacement for Trincao and Cancelo? Yeah, there's quite a few actually that you could go for from Trincao, because if you look at Trincao's price tag, I think he's around the price point, isn't he, where there's quite a lot of really good options. So he's around 6.6 million, isn't he? And with that being the case, there are a few options. Obviously, you can't quite get to the likes of Firmino, Valverde, Trossard, those likes of players. But you could probably take a punt on Madueke against Sporting. He's 6.6. You could even go for Olmo. If Olmo does start ahead of Fermin Lopez, then you could definitely bring an Olmo at 6.5. Gnabry 6.5 as well. So really, another excellent option. Simeone. There's honestly so many good options in that kind of price point. In terms of Cancelo, it's a little bit more awkward because he's well, it's not even his price point that's tricky. It's the fact that there's no other good option. There's not many good defensive options, is there really? He's 4.9 million, which is fine. I think you can go for Ruggeri from Atleti probably. It's a complicated week. Have Alvarez, but Atleti will pop the bus. I do not expect it to be goal fast. Yeah, I do think that Alvarez will do well this week, Kenneth. I do think he'll do well this week. We don't know. We don't anything about Arsenal. I want to put Gokaresh in, but I don't know. I think he'll start. Zhao is our Sporting guy, by the way, and he might be targeting Sporting, which is making me think we should target Sporting this week. I will sell Rice. Selling Alvarez is interesting. I do like. It depends on the lineup, doesn't it? The Barcelona lineup. Martinelli's been amazing in the Champions League season. Yeah, I think Martinelli is an interesting option as well. Koundé is tempting for Catamo. I still kind of like Catamo this week. I've just realised I'm on the attack and returns odds. Again, let me just get that back over to my transfers. So we've looked at the potential replacements for Suarez, right? So I think that was important because Alvarez is very expensive. He's probably worth it as well, right? Because you look at he's 9.3 million. Where does he rank in terms of the highest scoring players? So out of all of the players in the game at the moment, Alvarez is surely not. The highest scoring player is Kvaratskhelia, which is understandable. And then it's Mbappe. So yeah, again, I would be worried about selling Mbappe. Szoboszlai is 86 points, so he's 2 points behind Mbappe, but Alvarez is 85, which means that Alvarez is the second highest scoring striker, just behind Mbappe with 3 points. So again, not having him has killed me in terms of rank over the past couple of days. Although I'm still in the top 500, I'm still like rank 400 and something. 400 and something. Can you also no Liverpool players? No, I don't think so, Anas. It's quite hard to bring in a Liverpool player. I think there's always doubt around who is going to start for Liverpool, isn't there? Now that Isaac's back, we don't know if he's going to start ahead of Ekitike, even if they advance. So I don't know. I don't mind Szoboszlai this week, and that's not just because I've just seen him as the third highest scorer in the game. It's just because he's been very good this season. He could score from set pieces. He can score from shots outside the box. You know, he's got multiple routes to points. We've had the Liverpool lineups, guys. Let's have a look. Ooh, the lineups are coming out. It's 6:45. It's 6:45. Right, the lineups are out. Are they all out on the Champions League app though? Ooh, they are. Right, so first of all, I'm going to post the lineups really quickly, and then I'm going to go through them as I usually do. So I have no idea who's starting, by the way. I'll just post them first, get them out on X, and then I will kind of have a little bit of a deep dive into who is starting and who isn't. So let me just share that on. Let me just share these lineups on Twitter. There's one. I imagine there's someone in the chat who has something to say about the lineups. Lineup news. Any big ones? Koundé, no Liverpool players, no Salah. So no Salah is the big one. Let me have a look at the lineups then. Okay, so for PSG, is there any surprises? Safin in goal, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué, Vitinha, Mendes, Emery, Pacho, and João Neves. No surprises at all in that PSG lineup there. For Liverpool, it's Mohamedashvili, Van Dijk, Kanate, Kirkaz ahead of Robertson. I thought maybe Robbo would get a shout this week. Vert, Zoboslai, Isaac, McAllister, Akatike, Frimpong, and Gravenberch. So no Isaac, no Salah there in that early lineup. So no Salah. I think the big news there is the fact that Isaac is starting, right? You'd assume that it's Akatike on the left and Isaac up front. How much is Isaac? How much is Isaac? Isaac might be an interesting. Yeah, Isaac is 8.6. I mean, he's in Griezmann territory there, really, though, isn't he? That's pretty much Griezmann territory. Going into the last hour of my stream now, guys. So I've now done 2 hours of streams. I've not looked at the Barcelona lineup. Okay, so the Atleti lineup is Musso in goal. I knew he would play ahead of. Well, I didn't know. I had a feeling he would play ahead of Oblak, even though Oblak was fit. Ruggeri left back. Longley, Lenormand, Molina, Simeone, Llorente, Koke, Lookman, Griezmann, Alvarez. So just go for the Atleti lineup there. I think obviously Ruggeri stands out, doesn't he? Lenormand is at the same price though, but both are at risk of suspension if they get a yellow card today. Simeone, he's someone I really like, and I think he's only 6.2 million as well. So you could go down to Simeone there, in my opinion. I think he's a really interesting option. Obviously, we've had a look at Griezmann, Lookman, and Simeone. I think are interesting options there. Let me just double check how much Lookman is. think it's 7. Come on. Where is Lookman? Yeah, so Lookman is 7 million. It's a little bit more expensive than Simeone, but obviously, you know, he's he is. Yeah, Isaac. So Simeone starts, which is obviously really nice. We look at the Barcelona line. Ooh, Ferran Torres. Hang on, this is a really interesting lineup, this. Because Ferran Torres starts. We need to make a note of this. Ferran Torres starts. Olmo is. Fermin Lopez on the left wing. Fermin on the left. When was Fermin Lopez last on the left wing? Olmo in a number 10 is very interesting, by the way. I think that makes Olmo interesting, more interesting. And then you've got Cancelo, Martin, Garcia, Koundé, and Garcia at the back. But Olmo, so I'm interested in two things now. Basically, Olmo and Fermin. So how I've got Fermin obviously, but how does he usually do on the left? That is the question. I think it's quite rare for him to play on the left. Where did he play? When was the last time he played on the left? If someone knows the last time Fermin Lopez played on the left, that would be quite handy in the chat. Does chat know? Olmo played as a false 9, didn't he, against Atleti recently? In the first leg, however, Olmo did play in the number 10. He was okay. I'm not too sure what to make of all of it, but I know that I like Simeone at 6.2 million. Olmo at 6.5. If I didn't have Yamal and I didn't have Firmin as well, I would probably go for Olmo because I really like Olmo. Yeah, maybe it is Olmo up top. Maybe it is Olmo at top because Olmo did play false 9. Let me just have another look at that. No, you. So yeah, we could be looking at Ferran Torres on the left wing, Firmin in the number 10, and Olmo as false 9. When was the last time we saw that? I just had a look, didn't I? It was when Barcelona beat Atleti 2-1. Firmin did play. I don't know what to make of that. How much is Firmin? But how much is Ferran? Because he could be another. He could be another nice option. It's a bit annoying that he's a forward in the game. Ferran is only 6.7 million. Wow. There's so many Barcelona punts here, guys. There's so many. Olmo at 6.5. You've got Ferran Torres at 6.7 million. Obviously, Fermin Lopez starts. He's also 6.8 million. These Barcelona attackers are looking very, very appealing this week. I think a triple Barcelona attack is a step too far for me. But could it be could it be viable to swap Firmin for Olmo? That's what I'm thinking. Or if you sell, or you could sell Suarez for Torres. And sell Firmin and get maybe a Gnabry or someone around there, because outside of Alvarez, the forwards are very expensive, aren't they? And there's so many midfielders. There's so many midfielders to choose from. So if Ferran Torres is up front, which I think he might be, if he is up front, then he could be a very, very good option. He could be a better option than Firmin. Vinny and Luis Diaz or Dembele and Vitinha. I think I prefer Vinny and Luis Diaz, to be honest. Who is the best differential captain? Well, I mean, I'll tell you who isn't differential captain first. So Kvaratskhelia, Yamal, and Alvarez are not differential captains. All of them will have they'll be pretty popular in terms of captaincy. I do think differential captaincies could include a Liverpool attacker if you wanted to go there. I think it could include Ferran Torres if you wanted to go there. Potentially Olmo as well. Maybe even just Firmin, right? Because most of us have already got Firmin. So if you wanted a potential differential captaincy, then there is that. But yeah, you're going against some pretty heavy hitters there. If you are in the stream, guys, if you are listening or in the stream, please hit like, please hit the subscribe button. Really do appreciate it. You can also I'm not changing it to subscriber only mode. Yeah, so I won't be changing to subscriber only mode. For some reason, I've only filtered top comments, which is not very good. Now I can see all comments. So for some reason, there was a lot of comments not coming through. So now I can see all comments, which is good. Suarez to Torres, much better option, but what if Barcelona got eliminated? I think you've got to look at it this way. I think if you're probably gonna have to sell a striker this week anyway, aren't you? Next week. Gokras to Alvarez. I like that. Valverde to Doué. Or Tarte. I think Tarte Hincapié's okay. Valverde to Doué's okay as well. The first transfer is very good. I'm not massively keen on Valverde to Doué or Tarte Hincapié. Maybe Valverde to Doué is good, and I think Tarte Hincapié is quite good, but we only have two of the following: Yamal, Vinny, and Lees. Yeah, that is quite hard, Nicole, to be honest. That's a very, very tough one. If I had to pick, though, I would be picking Yamal and Elise. They both play at home. You know, they're both fantastic, aren't they? Look, I know Vinny's excellent. He's very good. I know that. He is missing chances lately, though. He doesn't have pens. He's away from home, so there's a few reasons why I would probably back Elise and Yamal over Vinny, but I still think Vinny's a very good option. Suarez, Diaz, Valverde to Kane, Alvarez, Simeone. I think that's solid. Yeah, I think that's a really good transfer plan this week. I think my transfers will be Suarez, Van Dijk, and Vinny to Alvarez, Hincapié, and Zlobo on pens. Yeah. So worth highlighting that Szoboszlai is on pens now. To be honest, I thought he was an interesting option anyway. I did say on the UEFA pod for anyone who, for those who do listen. we do a UEFA podcast every week for Champions League for UCL Fantasy. And we did mention on it that we keep Jobs. I do think he's a good option as well, though. He was actually part of my transfer plans. He was an option as part of my transfer plans. We've got to be careful this week because we don't just want to think ahead. You need to think this week as well. So you don't just want to be thinking about what's ahead, because whatever team you have next week, most people will just catch up with the 5 free transfers. Yeah, if you're going to take punts, the best time to take punts is this week. Yes, you can take punts any week. Yes, you can gain an advantage in any given week. That is for sure true. But there are so many options this week. Just think 4 teams get eliminated this week. So we're going to lose potentially, just as an example, I'm not saying they're going out, just as an example, we could potentially be losing Real Madrid. So every man and his dog are going to end up with, the next best replacement to Mbappe, the next best replacement to Vinny Jr. We're not going to be able to pick the likes of Valverde, Gula. That's one team. So it's gonna be really tricky next week. So definitely take a punt where you can this week. There are so many punts you can take this week as well. We've already kind of highlighted some of the forwards here. We've already highlighted some of the players. You've got the likes of Simeone. You've got the likes of Gnabry. These are players that people don't own. Like, there's obviously some people own them, but like these are players that a lot of people don't own, right? So yeah, I think now is definitely the time to take a punt if you're going to. So yeah, definitely do that. Remember to hit like and subscribe, guys. Get all your comments in and we'll try and get through all of them. Just remember, I now have super chats available, so you can pop in a super chat if you wanted to help support me, help support the channel. That would be appreciated as well. I have had my first super chat of my YouTube era. I think it was Alan. So thank you, Alan. You're probably not still around, but I really appreciate it. I think my transfer will be Suarez, Van Dijk, and Vinny to Alvarez. Yeah. We looked at that, didn't we? Jobs can't be underestimated this week. I think we need to keep Jobs in mind. 100%. Let's not forget about him. Keep Vitinha or Vinny. I think if it's a direct choice between both, I would be keeping Vinny. Oh, you good? You're still here, Alan. So yeah, Alan was my first super chat ever. So yeah, I really do appreciate your support, and I'm glad you liked the stream. I don't know if you were here. At 4:45 when I went an hour early. Has anyone been here for the whole thing? I would love to know if someone has been here since 4:45, then that is pretty amazing, to be fair. Would you keep Vinny or Jobs? That is very tough. That is a very, very tough question. Jobs is on pens now, isn't he? But Vinny is more attacking and plays for a more. I would probably still keep Vinny over Jobs, and I think if I was asked, would you sell Vinny to Jobs? I would probably say no, but only if if I was trying to save money. So so potentially I could. Potentially a move could be Jobs in to fund Alvarez from Vinny. That is a potential move. I'm still. Oh, FPL Hippie is still in. Oh, I'd love to see it. Nice one. Yeah, I think you were the first to comment as well, to be fair. Yeah, I'm glad you're still in. I don't think there's many that have been in from the start. It's quite difficult though, isn't it, to be in from the very start? No transfers, unfortunately, don't carry over. We don't get to carry transfers in the latter stages of the Champions League. It's only, interesting, it's only during the league phase. Yeah. I think they should carry transfers, though, because it rewards managers who, have done, have put in the planning. I do think, and it also creates swings then, because if people have got more transfers than others, it creates bigger swings, and that's what you want, really. You want a bit of excitement, don't you? I'm not saying it's not excitement, because there are still a lot of good options that you can. There's still loads of good options that you can pick. Like, there's just so many. I mean, Nuno Mendes and Gravenberg, or Ben White and Firmin. I'm not too sure on any of those moves, only because I don't like Gravenberg at all. And also, I'm not too sure that Ben White's going to start. Some Arsenal fans are suggesting that it could be Arsenal this week. Excuse me. Been talking for way too long. Ooh, way too long. This isn't whiskey, by the way. It's just water. It's not. It's not booze. It does. It does kind of look like a bit of a booze pot, but it's not. I promise. Mosquera could start right, but yeah. So I think that's the concern with Ben White, that Mosquera could start right back. There's also some concern with left back as well, right? Hincapi, Skelly, but I do think that Hincapi is more likely to start than Ben White. I do think that. I think we're going to have to look at my. I think we're going to have to start looking at my own plans, right? I think we need to do that for sure. Um, yeah. So right, okay. Let's really dig into my plans now. A couple more comments first. Gokaresh / Rice to Dembele / Olmo, or Ferran / Kvara, either worth. Yeah, I think so. Look, I'm not a massive fan of Arsenal assets this week. Arsenal attackers, that is. Sorry, big fan of their defenders, of course, but just not a massive, fan of Arsenal attackers. So I think anyone is probably not anyone, but there's I think there's quite a few better options than Gokaresh and Declan Rice this week. Suarez to Mbappe or Alvarez? I would probably have to say Alvarez in this one. I think that, Alvarez has got pans. He's got the. It depends on captaincy, doesn't it? Because I think, who would you rather captain out of those two? Like if I didn't own any of them, I would probably pick Alvarez. But I'm just trying to think now if that is because of how many times he's hammered me over the recent weeks. Because in any other given week, I would say Mbappe. And we know how dodgy Barcelona are, don't we? Sell Mbappe for Alvarez. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm kind of I've got conflicting thoughts over Mbappe and Alvarez. As you can probably tell. I have to look at it this way. Mbappe could have. Alvarez has been fantastic, but Mbappe is also fantastic. I think they're both excellent options this week. They're both on pans. They both have good fixtures in which they can return against with against two ropey defenses. They feel slightly on par. They do. Mbappe and Alvarez do feel on par this week in terms of potential. I do wonder though. I do wonder if Alvarez, if Atleti get an early lead, a good lead. I do wonder if they'll take Alvarez off to protect him for the semi-finals. Mbappe will just play 90 minutes. Yeah, Trossard is an interesting punt. Yeah, just going back to Mbappe Alvarez, I don't. I think Alvarez and Mbappe are on par. I think ideally you want to own both. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think ideally I would want to own both. If I was starting from scratch, I'd own both. If I had to pick one, that's really tough. I mean, taking into account the money can do quite a lot this week. So maybe Alvarez gets the edge if I had to start from scratch, but it's hard. It's tough. Trossard is the one attacking punt that I like from Arsenal. No idea who will start in number 10 between us and Havertz. That's the issue, isn't it? The number 10. Yeah, that's the problem with most of the attackers. That is the problem. Right, my own plans. Okay, guys. I need to think about this properly now. I have got half an hour to come up with a plan. So, again, I'm going to be talking through my team. I'm going to be talking through some of the stuff I'm going to do. I will try and get to comments. Like I said, I will prioritize super chats, though. I will make sure I respond to super chats. So, if you want to do that, that's completely up to you. So the focus now has to be on what I'm going to do. I will try and look at the chat here and there every so often. The thing is, it gives you flex on today's game. Yeah, that is true. It is true. There is definitely benefits to. There's benefits to both. There's benefits to both. Mbappe's ownership is colossal. It is absolutely colossal, though. I think it's at 63%. So if he does go off, that you're more than likely going to sink in terms of rank, which is I don't think is what you want at this point in the competition. So yes, where do I get the money? Suarez has to go. He has to go. So Suarez is definitely going. I've not settled on captaincy yet either, which is problematic considering there's only half an hour left. Again, hit like, hit subscribe if you are still listening. So Suarez is definitely going. He has to go. He has to. Yeah, Suarez has to go. None of the other forwards appeal to me enough to make me want to remove Mbappe or Kane for Alvarez. So both Kane and Mbappe are definitely going to stay this week. Elise is non-negotiable. Kvaratskhelia is the only PSG attacker that I like, basically. So I think he also has to stay. Barcelona are at home and they are going to be gunning for Atleti. Yamal is also on pans and he was amazing in the first leg. He just didn't obviously convert that into attacking output, which doesn't leave me many players to remove. And Furman obviously starts and he's at a decent price, so I keep coming to Vinicius as a sacrificial. Yeah, I'm doing transfers now. This is what we are looking at. I hope you're looking at. I hope you can see it anyway. I think one of the things that I was playing around with was the idea that I could potentially move Saliba or Gabriel onto another Arsenal fullback. The issue is let's put Alvarez in. You can see that I'm 3.4 million off that, with only 2 transfers to go. If I had four transfers, this would be a lot easier because I could potentially shave money off maybe Pacho. I could shave money off Catamo, and then I could also shave money off probably Saliba. I mean, one move that I know I can do and don't mind, even though I think Barcelona are going to score, is I could potentially get Pacho. I could potentially get Catamo down to Ruggieri. But then I've still got 2.3 million to lose. I can't even get Hakimi down to a 3.9 million player. It just doesn't exist. Let's leave Catamo in. I think that Vinny is probably gonna have to go, isn't he? I don't like it at all. I really don't. Ugh. I really don't like. I don't like the fact that I might have to get rid. Well, I do. If I want Alvarez, then a decision has to be made, doesn't it? Yeah, Barcelona are away, aren't they? They are away from home. I keep thinking they're at home. They are away from home. I don't think that makes them any less appealing this week, though. For me, anyway. Gnabry, I don't know if he's going to play. He is fit. We probably help if I put that there. Gnabry is fit. Company did confirm that he is fit. Vinicius to Valverde. Look, I don't mind that. Get Vitinha and not Vinny. I don't mind Vitinha. I don't mind Vitinha as well. We'll take a look. If I am going to go with this move here, I'm going to want to give myself more than 6.3 million to play around with, right? That's for sure. So the other move that I was playing with, the thing is, I don't think that Pacho or Catamo are going to keep a clean sheet this week. However, because Catamo plays right wing, he has goal threat, so for me this week, he offers more than Pacho. Because I do think that Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet. But obviously selling Catamo would give me 0.4 more million. Let's try and get what do we think, guys? Do we think selling Pacho or Catamo makes more sense? Bearing in mind, I don't think either side are going to keep a clean sheet this week. I don't want any side. I don't want Pacho for the next round. I would want Mendes, because when we lose the heavy hitters like Vinny and Mbappe, potentially we're going to want Mendes in. We're not going to want Pacho. So, But then if Catamo goes, then if Sporting go through, I'm not saying they're going to go through. We're probably going to want Catamo at 5.4 million, aren't we? He's a right winger playing in defence. You'd keep Pacho. Yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining Half Hour Podcast. Nice to see you in there. Yeah, there's a few who are saying sell Catamo, but like I said, the only issue with Catamo is he's an attacker, so he could score against Arsenal. He's got 2 routes to points. Pacho's only got 1. I don't want any of them next round. The thing is, in the next round, if you look at my midfield here, if you look at this midfield in the next round, either way, it doesn't matter who they're playing, etc. In terms of fixtures, I'm going to want Saliba, I'm probably going to want Gabriel, and I'm probably going to want to keep Hakimi. It's just a good defense, isn't it? And the other teams and their defenses just aren't reliable. So I will likely keep, these 3. So both of these are going to go anyway. Yeah, Saliba is playing tomorrow. Yeah. See, I think I would only need 7 mil. I think I would only need 7 mil here. Oh, I'm quite split between selling either of them, really. PSG did well to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea, didn't they? Back-to-back clean sheets against Chelsea and Liverpool. Sporting, it doesn't really matter about Sporting because Catamo is very good. He's a very good asset because he's an attacker as well. Yeah, maybe you're right about PSG potentially keeping a clean sheet. I mean, let's look at their odds. So we had a look at their odds earlier. PSG, 16% chance of keeping a clean sheet. It's better than Atleti. It's better than Sporting. It's definitely better than Real Madrid as well. I'm just having a quick look on Twitter to see if there's any. Yeah, I'm gonna have a. I'm gonna have to have a think about this. I think. Oh, it's so tough between Pacho. It's so tough between Pacho and Catamo. Maybe Catamo is a definite. I think maybe Catamo is a definite transfer out next week though. Pacho isn't a definite, is he? Pacho's a luxury transfer out. So if we get to next week and there's upsets, then I don't have to definitely sell Pacho, but that's assuming that Sporting do go out. Yeah, that's it. That's the problem with Regari. He is on suspension watch. He probably will get a. He probably will get a. He probably will get a yellow card as well. Should we have a look at the suspension? Lenormand is on there as well, which is annoying because I think if Lenormand wasn't at risk, I would probably pick Lenormand, but they're both there. They're both up there. There aren't that many cheap. There's not many good cheap defenders, but I have to take money out. I think let's take a look at the defend. Let's take a look firstly at the midfielders that I can get between 7.3, between 6.3 and 7 million. I haven't got long, by the way. I've got 15 minutes till the end of the stream, so that's not ideal, is it? Really? Jesus, I always do this. If you watch these streams, I literally do this every week. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the replacements that I would want. I think not just now, but I think long term as well. Not long term, but okay. So in terms of the potential replacements, let's just say I would have seven. I would have seven. Can I get some? The most I will have is 7.4. So 7.4 is the most. That is the most I can get out of selling one of these. So for 7.4, I can pretty much get Vitinha at 7.3. He's fine. Rice isn't an option now. Lookman is. No, I'm not putting Lookman down. He's just such a minute's risk. Zlobazlai, but then he might have a sell by date of a week, basically. You've also got likes of Madueke. You've got Olmo, but then do I want to triple up on the Barcelona attack? Who is the standout that I keep looking at? I know you've got Gnabry at 6.5 million, but there's some doubt there, isn't there, with Gnabry? Simeone I like. I'm not going to lie. I do like Simeone at 6.2 million. So I think the main options. Yeah, Lenormand though is also one booking off a ban. That's the problem, Dan. So Lenormand is, look, he's there on the screen there. You can see he's also on the right side of that one booking from a ban list. He's also on there. So both. Yeah, I don't mind Hincapi, but I'm not 100% he's going to start. This is the issue. Like, he's 4.9 million. He's probably only going to play. He's probably only going to play this week, right? And then Calafiori could well play the next one. It could well be Skelly. I mean, I think there's enough doubt there to put me off. Yeah, I think there's enough doubt to put me off. I think Rugari does kind of make sense to me because he's got attacking threat. I'm trying to think of other cheap options I could go down to. Longley isn't going to play there every week. Molina's not going to play there every week. So that rules out the Atleti defence. Arsenal is too much risk at the back. PSG defence is it's just a bit meh this week. I wouldn't touch Liverpool. Wouldn't touch the Barcelona defence. Yeah, it kind of doesn't leave much, does it? Yeah, it doesn't leave. There's not many options this week at all. By process, yeah, he might be first choice, but I don't know if anyone will be massively surprised if Skelly started this week and then maybe Calafiori potentially after that. So I think there's enough doubt to put me off. The issue is that the defensive options are very poor. So I do think so. Basically, my midfield options are Jobazlai at 7 mil, Madueke, not a fan of Madueke, so I've crossed him out. Olmo, I don't want to triple up. Gnabry, some risk there. So I think it's either gonna be Zlobozlai or Simeone. Now, obviously, Zlobozlai has pens. Simeone obviously has the edge of that he could potentially be in the next round. But am I going to want Simeone in the next round anyway? Maybe not, but then I could still upgrade him, right? So this is a 1 week. I think this is effectively a 1 week punt. Who I bring in for Vinny Jr. now is a 1 week punt. And I am very tempted by Zlobozlai, I'm not going to lie. I've got long to do this. Who could potentially leave this week? I'm not worried about the keeper. So if you've got one keeper in the final 3 rounds, it just doesn't matter that much. So I could potentially lose. I think if I was going for Zlobozlai, though, I would have to sell Catamo. His Catamo feels like a definite sell next week, whereas Pacho, again, as I said earlier, I wouldn't be forced to sell him. So I was limiting how many potential transfers I was going to make. Because if you look at this, for example, I could lose 2 Barca this week. 2 Barca, 1 Rail. Not many. I don't think I'm at major risk of losing loads of players this week. It would only really be like if we're playing the odds here a little bit. It would only really be Yamal, Lopez, Mbappe that are high risk based on the first legs, unless I'm missing someone. Maybe Yamal. Okay, altogether it would be Yamal, Firmin, Mbappe, Catamo. That's 4 players that I would have to maybe look likely sort of. I think I would probably have to sell Catamo. Yeah, Gerard Martin is 3.8 million, isn't he? So they are the transfers that I am slightly tempted by. 10 minutes left of the stream, so I have to start hurrying this up. If you have enjoyed this stream, please hit like and subscribe. Lewis, you get an Alvarez. If not, I'm defo going for him. I think it's going to be time. I think it's time. I think Gnabry's going to start, to be honest. But I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that. Yeah, I see a point on Hincapi. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't face Yamal directly, but he loves rotating his centre backs at Diego Simeone as well. That's the problem. He's got so many centre backs that could, like I don't think Lenormand always starts. That's one of the issues. Let me just check his minutes. Because Hanko's injured, isn't he? And I don't think Hanko's that injured. I don't think he's out for that long. I mean, he played Barcelona, both the Spurs legs. He missed Club Bruges. Played 1 minute of Played 1 minute against the first leg of Club Brugge, none in the second. This is Lenormand. Played 12 minutes against Bodo, 34 minutes against PSV. Yeah, I don't think Lenormand's safe. Ruggieri played against Atleti, played 90 against Spurs, 90 against Spurs, 90 against Club Brugge, 90 against first leg Club Brugge, half an hour against Bodo, but then 90 against Galatasaray, 90 against in the first leg Galatasaray. So I think Ruggieri is the safest play, even though he does directly face Yamal. That is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can't see my screen, can you? Is that? What an idiot. At least someone told me to do it. Yeah, so that is my team. This is basically the team at the moment. I think I have come to the conclusion that I'd be absolutely stupid not to get Alvarez, and I know it'll annoy Ed as well. Me buying Alvarez, he'll probably blank actually now that I bought him. So sorry, and apologies in advance for his blank and probable red card. Yeah, I really like these. I think if you look at it this way, Ruggieri makes sense. We just had a look at the nearing the ban graphic. Dan obviously made a good point that yeah, I think with Normand, I think if you look at the defensive options at a low cost this week, they're all pretty bad. But then you directly compare Ruggieri and Lenormand. I do like both options, but Lenormand's minutes are massively like suspect over the, especially towards the kind of the league phase, and shortly after. Ruggieri seems a lot more safer. Jlobazai is a punt. I think without Salah, he becomes a much more interesting option on pans. I think Liverpool are going to dominate this week as well. I think they're going to score. With that in mind, I probably should sell I should probably keep Catamo. I should probably keep Catamo rather than Pacho. But again, I need to limit how many transfers I'm using for the next leg. I don't think Molina's safe in terms of minutes either, to be fair. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to go with this, guys. And now I need to confirm, and then I need to choose captain. So I think this is the way I'm going to go. Again, Alvarez has absolutely killed me off every single round. I just can't carry on this way. And I think Jobazai might be able to match Vinny this week. Obviously, the pans is helpful. Of course, he'll be a transfer out next week, but I think I can, with this setup that I have, I think I can take one calculated punt. Because if you look at who's likely to go out, yes, I'm likely to lose Garcia. I don't really care about having one goalkeeper for the final 3 matches, as I've said. I think with Hakimi and Pacho, they look likely to progress, don't they? Along with the Arsenal double up, the Arsenal triple up, in fact. Ruggieri again, 2-0 lead. You've got Bayern look likely to go through. I mean, if they don't, it's not the end of the world. It's only 2 rather than selling 1 of Mbappe, right? So it's only really the Barcelona double up that I'm at risk of losing, I think. And Jlobazai. So that would be 3 midfield punts, but that front 3 there is, in my opinion, the most optimal front 3 that you can have. Like not just this week, but long term as well. If Mbappe goes this week, then the optimal front 3 is probably gonna be Dembele, isn't it? But who knows? So I think I'm going to confirm that, guys. So I'm going to confirm that any more. Yeah, captaincy. Usman captaincy. That's a nice one, Sam. Good luck with that. You'll probably do well with that. You always do well with like punts. I kind of don't want to get rid of Catamo. I don't want to get rid of Catamo. Can I keep Catamo? No, because then it would mean an additional transfer next week. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that, and then we'll talk about captaincy really quickly. Finally, Alvarez is in my team. He is finally in the team. We just refresh that because it's not. So Alvarez has come in. Jobizlai has come in. I think is a really good option for this week. Hoping that just comes on screen like it. Why is that not loaded? That's very weird. I don't know what is going on here. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing my current team. Here we go. We should be able to see it. We've got a few minutes left of the live stream, guys. Let me just take a look at my team. I usually do finish slightly early. Let me just get that team into the picture there so we can see that I have not a terrible spread of players. A lot of players playing tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not ideal. But then 4 there, 5, 6. That's an okay split. Captaincy is going to be interesting though. I think my heart is telling me Yamal. My brain is telling me Alvarez. Oh. I need a massive midfielder haul though, because you don't want to get an okay return from Alvarez of like a goal and then Kane do really well tomorrow. So I think to get to that haul, to reach that haul, I would probably need a pen taking midfielder, or at least it feels like. Yes, Alvarez could definitely match that. So yeah, guys, this is my team. Again, people are either going to be happy or devastated that I've brought in I like Jobizlai. Should we do a couple of questions before we go? Yeah, I'm going for Yamal captain. Who takes pens for Pishy? No one really knows. I think Mendes took the last one and scored. How do you feel about Firmin for Vitinha this week? I prefer Firmin, I think. Zobazai definitely takes penalties. He's also got the home fixture as well. He's just a punt. I think at this point you can take a punt. Just remember, once we get to next week, everyone is going to have a similar team. So this week they're not. I would definitely take a punt if you were going to this week. Yamal is safer. Boss going to go out. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think Yamal just feels better for a haul. You know, I think if we're going to get a haul, a big haul, it could be Yamal. And Yamal's always served me pretty well. I think Saliba, Pacho, Cancelo. I will probably bring in Saliba this week. Better option for this week. Better option probably long term as well. But yeah, that is my team, guys, for this week. So again, my transfers are Julian Alvarez has finally come in. Finally come in. Ruggieri has come in. Some risk there. Jobazai, a calculated punt. Jobazai is a complete punt. He's not an excellent option. I think he's a good option. He's got pans. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this has turned out. Really thankful for everyone who has joined the stream tonight. We've had quite a few of you in. I can't believe I ended up hosting for 3 hours. It's ridiculous, and that was only because I stupidly thought I was starting a stream at 4:45 when it was supposed to be 4:45, but carried on anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready for the game. I hope everyone has a really good. Not everyone. I hope the people. I hope I have a good game week at Matchday, and I hope some of you guys have not too good to get past me though. Yeah, no, good luck this week, and I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you have enjoyed the stream, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Again, a lot of you guys were in here last week as we hit 1K, so really appreciate it. A lot of you helped me get to 1K as well. So yeah, looking forward to the next round, although there's a bit of time away from that. Thanks Mazero, thanks Ricky, and thank you to everyone who has had their questions in the chat this week, and again, good luck. And I'll see you guys, I don't know when, it'll be ahead of match day 15, but I'll probably be extremely active on Axe. So yeah, see you later guys, have a really good match day.